You have no idea how nice it is to play that song and not have to hear people go, "Let's go Buffalo," after every other line. Because I'm from Western New York and that's what they do. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the Torgo Entertainment YouTube channel. Torgo here. Welcome back to another gig log. Welcome back to another wedding. I'd already filmed this, actually. You can see my setup right here. Like, I already did this. I realize the lighting here is all sorts of jank, and that's because I have a window right here in my office, and it is currently almost 8:30, and the sun is right there, so I'm getting all sorts of light. But unfortunately, it is very, very sunny out. So let me see if I can get the footage. I can't really show you all that well. It is very sunny. There's a window right there. And so I'm going to do this very quickly. Today's the wedding of Carl and Carrie. Today's the 5th of the 6 weddings I inherited from All Star Entertainment because one of their DJs unfortunately passed away. And we head to Spillian in Fleischmann's, New York, home of the Yeast Company. Let's go to the map and show you exactly where that is. It's 3 hours away. Neither of my last 2 weddings of the year are remotely close. We're going deep in the Catskills for both. Phil checked out the venue with me back in April. Let's go case the joints.
I thought you said the library was closed, Frank.
This is what they call casing.
Do you hear that rain? This was early spring 2022, and obviously we had to make it out here when we could. So we keep on trekking back here. That is the venue owner in front, Phil, directly in front of me. And we're heading to the ceremony location. So they have this really nice ceremony spot outdoors, all the pews set up. They have this, lovely background. It's really nice. They have some stuff set up for cocktail hour, an outdoor bar. The bonfire goes on out here. You can see the building in the back there, and here's inside. Not very large. There's 2 possibilities. We could be there, but more likely than not, we're going to be where that piano is. Because that way we can have our sound come out and hit everything much easier. Speaker locations are a lot more easy to find there. So the head table is actually that long dinner table looking thing in that other room. Guests all here. We gotta figure out where speakers are gonna go. I'm thinking one in the corner. And you can see it's not very large. Space is a problem. So we're also trying to figure out where are uplights going to go. Because I knew I wasn't going to do dance floor lighting here. There's nowhere to put it. So that's part of the reason why I like visiting venues ahead of time, is figuring out where all the uplighting is going to go, figuring out outlets, space, and whatnot. And if you go back into the left, that's where the kitchen is, so you got to keep that clear as well. Never get in the way of venue staff doing what they need to do. And there's another back room off and to the right from there, and that's where the cake will be cut. And they have a caricaturist as well. So yeah, you can tell it's a very small venue, and this couple originally wanted dance floor lighting, and I had to put my foot down, having been there, and I was like, look, we're not going to have room for dance floor lighting. My totems and moving heads are going to be overkill. We do uplighting instead. And they were okay with it. All Star was okay with it, so we're doing uplighting, but no dance floor lights. The wedding is 2:30 to 8:30. The ceremony starts at 3, and we're done at 8:30, but the wedding is going until 11. They only have us for the 6 hours, which is fine with me. I know a lot of people love overtime, but considering it's a 3-hour drive, the weather could get particularly bad. Yeah, I'm okay with ducking out at 8:30. I have to provide sound gear for 2 people that are going to be playing some instruments during dinner, but that's just repurposed ceremony equipment. They can just tap into that, not really a problem there. And on top of that, the ceremony's outside. We have a high of 30 degrees scheduled for today, so I'm not sure how that's going to work entirely. But we will get through that, bundle up accordingly. I've never done anything outdoors in that cold of a temperature with my gear. So that'll be a new one for me. I hope you're ready for this one. I gotta go get Phil. It is 8:30. I would like to be there 3 hours ahead of time, so 11:30. It's a 3-hour drive, so I gotta get going. I'll see you there. Let's go. Wasting away again in Margaretville, yeah. All right, so the overhead map doesn't really show any sense of what's going on, even if you zoom in, so you can't really tell, unfortunately. So the drive up is going to have to suffice for this one. We are deep in the Catskills, not near much of anything, really. There's the venue on the right. And we head to the parking lot, and here is me from the past.
10 after 12, we're a couple minutes late, but that's okay. We've unloaded everything into the building. They have opted to not do an outdoor ceremony. It's too cold. So only one setup modified today, but it is tight. We have no space. So we gotta work with
If you're wondering, I'm carrying Phil's clothes in a little trash bag that he has. So here is where we were going to be, but they moved the ceremony inside, so the ceremony will be set up here. That's why I have the microphone up here, so a guest speaker can use it. That is my microphone. I always try to match the heads of the microphone to colors going on. There's our green and blue. Green's tough. So you'll notice over here, one of the QSCK 10.2s, and I don't have a scrim. And there's the tape job. When the outlets are halfway up the wall, we gotta do what we gotta do. But you'll notice no scrim because the only way you can get back to these seats is from this direction. The radiator is so big and it kind of blocks the way, and if people are sitting there, that's not going to work. So just so people have a little bit of an easier time, we're going to have no scrim there. And here we have uplights. This is an Element Hex ST, and you can see the uplighting color we went with. Emerald green, very difficult to do. There it is right there. We have mauve because ceremony is going to be happening in just a little bit. I don't want any colors distracting from the ceremony. Let me see if I can find the switch, and there we go. So there's one speaker. As you can see, it's an unorthodox setup. There is the guitarist. He will be doing something right after dinner. You'll notice we do not have a lot of room at all. You'll also notice we don't have the facade up. What's going on there? Well, there's no room. We need to be able to get back there. And the table was provided. It's bowing in the middle, so this is as good as we're probably going to be able to get it, unfortunately. I really don't like the way this looks, but, space is a luxury. Anti-fatigue mat, and here we have the Roland DJ808 controller, the good old Samsung Odyssey Z notebook, the Airstream DMX bridge, which we still need for those uplights, the Audio-Technica ATH M50X headphones, the PowerBar 65, you can see it's cramped, the Furman power conditioner inside the mic rack, the Logitech trackball mouse, the Radial 2-to-1 mixer for those mics. We have my lapel microphone for the Efficient, the iPad running the Airstream app. Underneath that we have, the clipboard with the itinerary on it. And you can see there just isn't a lot of room, so we did what we had to do. And coming out around here, the other speaker is on the other side of this wall. You go over here, and there's the other speaker because we have this whole other room that we need to provide sound for. Uplighting throughout. We only have time for one more thing, and you know what it is. It's time to level up.
Backlighting. Let's go.
I prayed for you before I called you my wife. Can't believe it's true.
By the power vested in me by the state of New York, I do not pronounce you husband and wife. You do not disagree.
First and foremost, give it for Montage Horseman and Auto Horseman. Keep it going for Brooke Armstrong and Jimmy Reinhold. Next up, you're ready for this. Give it up for Beth and Tom Stroh, everyone. folks, Nicole Beans and Donald Horseman. I want you to keep it going for Amy Nunez and Jean-Paul Roberts. VIPs for our newlyweds, very important people in their lives. So give it up for the flower girl and daughter of the couple, Carly Rose Horseman, and the best man in the ring there, Matthew McRae. We still have more. Give it up for the matron of honor, Tara McRae, and groomsman Roberto Reynoso. And we're almost there. Make some noise for the maid of honor, Alexis Coughlin, and the best man, Alberto Daniels. People, if you have the means to do so, please get on your feet at this time. I know you've been here a while. I know you've seen them already. I want to hear you scream. I want to hear you shout. I want to hear you hoot and holler. For your newlyweds, for you, Mr. and Mrs. Cole. We have some people here from Jersey. That's the only Tony you're going to see that doesn't have a toll booth in front of it. They've chosen a song very special to the two of them. This is by Phil Wickham, and it is called It's Always Been You.
Not you, Tom.
That's right, give it up for one more time.
Just like the first time I told her I loved her, she wasn't quite there yet. You didn't the cake.
I'm sorry, I love this game.
I've been trying to get it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead.
You have no idea how nice it is to play that song and not have to hear people go, "Let's go Buffalo," after every other line. And that's going to do it for us here. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out, celebrating Carl and Carrie with us. I am Torgo. This is...
And I'm back. Good God, it's gonna be 2 weeks after the wedding, and I am currently in my storage facility in my house. I don't film here too often, you know, once a year roughly. It's a little bit messy. I spent a couple weeks cleaning it. Ooh, what are those? What are those? You'll see that in a little bit. But I took a couple weeks because, you know, the holidays, but I really wanted to think about how to address how this wedding went. Phil and I both agreed it was a good wedding, but it was a weird wedding. The timeline really kinda put us in a bit of a bind. Moving the ceremony inside was obviously the correct choice. However, they didn't really plan for it, so they had the ceremony where we were going to be. and that room was way too small for what they wanted to do. So that's why they kind of tucked us away in whatever corner they could, and because space was so limited, as I said, that's why our setup looked the way it did. We could not put the facade up because it was too wide. Even if you tucked in the corners, there'd be zero room to actually walk through it. So we wanted to make sure we had room for that, and we didn't want to have anything jutting out into the floor because, like I said, space was at a premium, so we kind of had to do that way. Then the couple decided that they didn't want to do their grand entrance right after cocktail hour because there were tables and chairs in the way, which makes sense. They didn't want to, you know, crawl over people, put crotches and butts in people's faces. So they waited until after dinner to do that. However, that was at about 7:05, 7:10, and the wedding, I was done at 8:30. So we had to rush to get a bunch of stuff done. This was definitely a wedding where people liked to drag their feet. It was more of a social experience for a lot of people. And they had the venue until 11, so I think a lot of people in their minds thought that the wedding was going until 11, even though they only had me 2:30 to 8:30. So when it came time for open dance floor, yeah, 45 minutes is all the time that I had. It was a good amount of time, like I said, unusual layout. We made it work the best we could. People were very surprised that I was done when I was, and I had a 3-hour drive home. There were no hotels available in the area, so no, I wasn't about to do overtime. But Carl and Carrie had themselves a good time. And it's a nice venue. I really like Spillian, but again, small. So if you're going to get married there, don't crack like 70 people. Otherwise, you're going to be, you know, really tight. And maybe not in the middle of November. A playlist will be at the tail end of this video. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. One wedding to go. I head back to the Catskills for that last wedding. Actually, about 10 minutes away from where I just was. We're heading to Big Indy in New York. And guess what? We're doing new equipment. That's the new stuff. That stuff you saw in the back, those speakers, and some other stuff that you can't see right now, get ready for that. Until then, I'm Torgo with Torgo Entertainment, and I'll see you at the next and final gig of 2022. At least for me. Take care.